guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm back home in Hyderabad, my suitcase, and no beach. As I promised in the previous video, today I'll be covering the application process to Minerva and giving my tips on how to complete it and be happy with it. I have my notes here and I'll cover every aspect one at a time and answer your questions that you left in my email or under the previous video. Once again, before I start, a disclaimer: I'm not an official Minerva representative. I don't have all the information. You should email them if you have a specific question. I also applied to Minerva 2 years ago. I'm a second-year student, so they might have changed some things in the application, so not everything that worked for me will work for you. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the test. Hey Robin! Thank you so much!
Thank you.
Thank you, and the other one is mine too, right? Thanks! Sorry about that, I had my juice delivered. The test consists of 6 challenges, and they include math, writing, expression, abstract thinking, creative thinking, and I believe the last one was logic, but I don't remember, so don't quote me on that. The cool thing about the test is that you can either sit down and take it as a whole, which will take like 2 or 2.5 hours, or you could take each segment at a different time. So I know that some students took it in like 2 days or more. I prefer to get done with things quickly, so I just sat down and completed the whole thing at once. You don't really need to prepare, you just show how you think, and that's something that you've built for years. I like that it's very different from SAT or ACT where you have to like study for the exact test. However, there are of course some things that you can do to feel better. For math, I would say that it's not very difficult. You get a problem on the screen, and as soon as you solve it, you get the second one. So I don't think you can complete all of the problems in the 20 minutes that you're given, but you just solve as quickly as you can and as accurately as you can, of course. I would practice solving math problems in a short period of time and just timing yourself to make sure that you can perform well and not be stressed. The second one is writing, and Minerva gives prompts. I know that the prompt that I had in my year and the prompt that students had in the year after me were different, so yours will probably be different as well. But it's basically an essay. Again, you have 20 to 25 minutes to write it, and I would practice writing quickly and writing well in a short period of time. I think as long as you know the good format of the essay with like an introduction, paragraph, and conclusion, you'll be fine. Personally, I'm not even comfortable with giving that advice because maybe if you're like super creative and original in your essay, that will stand out. So I don't know. I felt like I completely failed that part because I didn't think it was structured well, and I was like stressing and I was trying to type it in quickly, but I made it. So the next part is expression. And I think this one is very, very important and maybe more difficult for some people because you have to talk to the camera and make sense. So you get a prompt, you have like a minute or 2 to prepare your response, and then you have another 2 minutes to give your response. Or was it 45 seconds? I don't remember. Anyways, it's just like a very, very short period of time that you have to do it in. And I think what I did was like construct the argument in my head. So I started with a thesis, and then I presented 2 my arguments, and then I quickly concluded. I think that was my approach to it. I highly recommend you to practice in front of the camera because although this might seem easy, it's not. Some people get awkward and lose words. You can go blank. So just practice it so you feel confident, because that's all that matters. The next part is creativity. That was another part that I felt I completely failed because I went blank. It was the first one that I got, and I had 8 minutes to complete it, and I was just in there and I was like, I didn't understand the word that I was given. Like I don't know what it means. Like I have no idea. I forgot English, and I knew that somewhere in my head, like I've seen this word before. I definitely know what it means. I can't, like, I don't know. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I actually didn't fail, because again, you have to be creative. So to prepare, I would Google creativity tests, just like go through some of them, get an idea of what can be asked, because I have no idea how you can prepare to be creative. You definitely have it, so just look at the different formats of how it can be assessed. It's getting so hot. Okay, I think it's cold enough. Moving on to abstract thinking, I would look up IQ tests and take a few. Nobody fully knows what Minerva will give you. I'm on their website right now that you guys can see as well. During this part, you will be presented with a unique series of thought-provoking challenges across various dimensions, from creativity, mathematics, to written and spoken communications. And even here it says that you can't really study for them. I personally feel like if you just Google some aspects of the test as I told you, that will give you some confidence, because even if Minerva doesn't give you exact specific thing, which of course they won't, you will still feel like prepared for that format. Also, someone commented, I guess I did not do well on the test, but still hoping. I'm telling you, I thought I failed like 2 parts. It's totally fine. Just like do it and let go. Completely let go of it. Focus on the accomplishments and other things, because you did your best and that's all that matters. That's my basic advice for that. And now we're moving on to accomplishments. If you don't know, Minerva asks you to describe 4 to 6 accomplishments that you've achieved in your life that you are proud of. The first and foremost, most important advice that I can give on that is to quantify your accomplishments. Don't just write that I was in a math Olympiad and I got 2nd place and it was so cool. Make sure to write how many people participated, at least like estimated, how many hours you prepared, for how many years. That will allow Minerva to see the impact that it had, not just on you, but also like in general. And it doesn't have to be just with the academics, which is my second advice. I only put down 2 accomplishments that related to school. One of them was getting a 5 on my AP US history exam. The reason why it was so important for me was because I barely understood the book in the beginning of the class. And my progress over the year made me feel proud, and I felt like that was an accomplishment that I can describe. But when I was describing it for Minerva, I didn't just say that, oh yeah, I got a 5 on my exam. I talked how many hours a day it took me to get there, how much I worked for it, how many students were in my class, stuff like that, which gives a different dimension to your accomplishment. The rest 4 accomplishments had nothing to do with academics. They were very personal, in fact. They're related to my interests, to my personal life, and my beliefs. And a lot of you ask what kind of accomplishments Minerva is looking for. And literally on their website it says, rather than narrowly defining what achievement means, we give you the flexibility to define this for yourself. So if you did something that may not be perceived as an accomplishment by the society, but you personally feel like it's important to you, write it. Go ahead. One of the things I wrote about was my garden and how me and my dad worked on it for years, and how from just zero nothingness, now we have fruits and vegetables and greens that we take from the garden every summer, and how happy that makes me feel. It may seem like something very insignificant, but for me, it shaped me as a person, and I think that's important. So that's exactly how I described it for Minerva, and apparently they cared. Also, a question someone asked that relates to this is whether the achievement should show my future major. In other words, am I supposed to do things around one topic? What if I have different interests? I would say not. I'm doing business and social sciences. I don't feel like what I put relate to that in any way, to be honest. I think it's an unhealthy mentality to think of what a college might want to see in you and just do things related to that, which honestly, when I was in high school, I felt like a lot of people were doing certain clubs or volunteering or other things just because they could put it in their college application. Nothing wrong with that, but I feel like Minerva does not require that type of attitude. You're not supposed to do things around one topic. Do whatever you want, whatever feels right, and whatever you have interests in. Okay, last part is questions from you, and I hope that I picked the ones that will be helpful for most people. I have heard that you need really good grades on your transcript to get accepted into Minerva. Is that true? Yes. However, my GPA was 3.7 out of 4. If you're from the US, you know what I'm talking about. Including my AP classes, I think it was higher. So generally, you do need good grades, but it's not like they have to be perfect. From my experience. Many colleges and universities have vast alumni networks that give the students who attend them a considerable advantage after graduation. When choosing to attend Minerva, how did you reconcile the fact that the school hasn't been established for very long and thus doesn't have such an influential, considerable alumni network? A couple aspects I want to highlight. First, Minerva is really new. We don't have a graduating class yet. We will have in 3 months, and that's something that I see as exciting because we are the ones who are shaping the institution. I'm the 3rd class that Minerva is going to have. That feels like so much power because based on how we will perform after we graduate, that will kind of influence the reputation of Minerva and prove that the system of education works or doesn't work. I'm pretty sure it works. So I never thought that I need to reconcile the fact that there's no alumni network. For me, it was just something that, oh, cool, we'll create it. Additionally, there's a thing at Minerva called Professional Development Agency, and that's something that you have for life, which is a dedicated team of staff at Minerva who find internships, who help you do do interviews, who review your resumes, who help you in any way that you need to get a job, and if they see an interesting opportunity that will be suitable for you, they will let you know that it exists. The whole thing about prop dev, as I said, is that it's for life. You can be 45 needing a new job, I don't know, or you're 30 and you feel like you need some new skills. How can you get them? You email prop dev. So I knew about that. I felt very safe and secure because of that. Is there a competitive environment among students, or are people more collaborative? The teamwork makes the dream work type. Definitely collaborative. We never compete. I really never felt like that at Minerva, which is very different from my traditional university that I used to go to before Minerva. Nobody knows each other's grades. There's no ranking in class where you have to be on top. You're just basically competing with your past self, which is very philosophical, but that's true. And we always help each other out, which I really appreciate. So definitely very collaborative spirit. Is double majoring a common thing? Is it possible to double major without severe stress? I'm double majoring. I'm not stressed. I'm totally fine. It's definitely possible. I think your level of stress definitely depends on your inner perception. You can have just one major and be extremely stressed, or you can have two and take things one at a time and make sure to have breaks and take care of yourself, and then you will not be stressed. It is more work eventually, but I'm willing to take it because I'm passionate about the classes that I have. I just spilled water on my MacBook. Am I smart? Am I extraordinary? I got this, guys. I got this. Not stressed at all. Life is just a game. It's a simulation. I even cleaned it a little bit. Look how awesome. Last question. Since Minerva is pretty new, there must be a bunch of stuff the school is changing to make it better, etc, etc. How receptive is the school to student complaints and feedback, and do you feel the complaints are fully considered and used to implement change? Very receptive to feedback. After each event that Minerva organizes, we always have feedback surveys sent to us so we can fill them out with our comments so they can integrate them in the future. Working with Minerva over the summer, I can definitely tell that they look at all of the feedback. We also fill out feedback about every class we take, how we feel about the academic policies. We have ASM, which is, wait, what does it stand for? What does ASM stand for? Associated Students of Minerva, student representatives that we vote for and who talk to Minerva on our behalf on some issues if we feel very strongly about them, and that's been very helpful as well. So Minerva is changing a lot, but as I said earlier, I feel like I have power in that process, which makes me believe in the institution even more. This is it for now, guys. I wanted to thank you all so much for your comments and your messages. Honestly, when I wake up and I see a DM on Instagram from one of you telling me how much value you get from this, it just makes my day, it makes my week, it makes my life. So thank you so much for watching and for reaching out and for being so awesome. I want to create the content that you want to see that goes beyond Minerva as well, because there's so much in life that's so much in life that's amazing and I want to share. If you're still unclear on some things, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I will make sure to give my best response. Thank you for watching. Next week I'll see you with a video that's probably not related to this because I'm done talking about Minerva, okay? I'm done. And until then, I hope you're having a grateful, wonderful time wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and I will see you next week. Oh, I forgot the kiss.